Good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Real Talk here in the studios of Hope TV Ghana. Remember, we are live on Facebook and YouTube as well, Hope TV Ghana. So you can join the conversation live by leaving your comments under the comments section, and we will make sure we read your comments as we go through the story and the discussion. You know, it's always a privilege coming your way every Wednesday here in the studios of Hope TV, and it's always a joy bringing you stories upon stories. You do not have to write a full-fledged story. You can give us a draft or even the topic, and our writers will do their best to put together exactly what it is that you want us to talk about. And we will find you the right panelists to have the right conversation, as we do every Wednesday on Real Talk. My name is Evie, obviously the host for the show, and I do this with amazing panelists, with people who know what they're talking about, with people who sometimes can relate to the stories, and with people who just want to help. You know, they say a story shared is half solved. And so we are encouraging that we all share our problems, our stories, so as we cut down on the depression cases that we keep hearing. And before we go into our story, which we have titled, I want to be a surrogate for my ex, but my husband says no. I saw the comments on Facebook, and you can see that people are just blown away by the story, and we will go into it shortly. But before that, remember that you can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928 *34 *104# and follow the prompts. You can also send your donation to Hope Channel at 0249 193083, and automatically you become an angel of hope. Today I am going to do this with a beautiful lady in the studio, and joining me virtually is a handsome gentleman as well. I'll go ahead and introduce them to you. So I have Portia Ejewa Jan, Mrs. Portia, how are you doing today?
By His grace, I'm fine.
How is the family?
They're all doing fine.
We thank God. Are you ready for the conversation?
Yes, please.
Okay, we'll go into it shortly. And joining me virtually is Pastor Samuel Ejay. Pastor, how are you doing? It's evening here, so good evening from Ghana. How are you doing?
I am doing well. How about you?
Oh, we are also doing fantastic here in the studio and in Ghana. I hope the family is well.
Yes, they are all doing well. The kids are giving me a hard time, but it's all good.
It's all good. Kids will always be kids. I hope you are ready for the conversation.
Yes, more than ready.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you with my first question, and I'm going to ask, what is your general take on this story? What is going through your mind when you saw the story? But before then, I know that my people at home have not seen the story. So, Pastor, I'm going to read the story to them shortly, and then I'll take your general view, then I'll move to Portia so we can have the conversation. I hope that's all right.
Yes.
Okay, so we've titled it, I Want to Be a Surrogate for My Ex, but My Husband Says No. And she goes ahead to say, Dear Real Talk, is being a surrogate for someone wrong? I feel like I get to give a couple their deepest desire. I get to carry that child they've been praying for and deliver it to them beautifully. Are we not called by God to help each other out? If I can help in this way, what's the big deal? Or is it because I am willing to do this for my ex? So I am a married woman with 2 children. I would have loved to give birth to a lot more babies, but economy won't help my husband and I do that. So we have agreed that the 2 is okay. Now my ex-boyfriend and his wife, who live in Europe, have been struggling with bearing children for almost 4 years now. We didn't break up because he treated me bad or anything. In fact, he was very good to me, such a perfect boyfriend. But when he traveled, we couldn't sustain the long-distance relationship. He didn't have a place of his own and was only schooling, so I couldn't go to join him. Gradually, the distance led to us drawing further apart, and I moved on and got married. Later, he also got married. We recently reconnected through social media and we exchanged numbers. It was during one of our chats that he confided in me of their struggles to have children. He said they have decided to try surrogacy, and he is praying he gets a woman with good character to help them carry their child. In fact, someone like me. This has got me thinking, and the more I think about it, the more I want to help them. Evie, this man is the reason I have a degree and a master's. He helped me out, so I think it's my turn to do so. They only need me to carry the child. The baby will be made from his sperms and his wife's eggs. He's willing to pay for me to come there for a year to do this with my family if possible, and come back to Ghana after the procedure. After telling my husband and sister, they got very angry. Now my husband is insinuating I'm having an affair with him, which is not true. And my sister too is saying God isn't okay with that. I only want to help someone in need. Am I wrong for this? How can I convince my husband to allow me and the kids go if he doesn't want to come along? Oh, this story is just a lot. It's Pastor, what's going on through your mind, honestly?
So this story is very strange and also interesting. And I have had an encounter with a lady who has been a surrogate before in the state here.
Okay.
So I understand how it feels. But with this particular story, a married person willing to do it for her ex, I have never heard that. And it's strange to me, but I think we're going to unfold it and we're going to learn more about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pasha, you're a married woman. I know you have a child or kids, if I'm not mistaken. And you've seen a story like this. What is the first thought that came to mind?
The first thing was like, this economy has led this woman, like for instance, this couple are trying to cut down their childbearing.
Right.
Like, want to give more children. But because of this economy, has led them cut up to 2.
Right. Right.
Very, very serious. And secondly, talking about her ex, I was just wondering how and when. It's like, how can you think aloud like that?
Right.
To do something for your ex?
Right.
It's very fishy.
It's fishy. Yeah. You think there's something
there's
going
something on, yeah, I don't know, but it's very fishy.
Yeah, but it's like you are saying, it's fishy. Why you, and why the interest of you want to be the one? And Pastor, this question is for you because we are going to discuss surrogacy, and I'm so thankful that you know someone who has actually been a surrogate. But let's discuss that, and then let's speak on what the Bible says about surrogacy, or the church's stance on surrogacy. Is the church against it? Our policy, is it wrong in the sight of God? Or like she clearly said, is it a gift she can give to her ex and his wife? And also, again, speak on your experience with the surrogate person that you know of, if you have any to share.
All right, so let me begin with maybe somebody's wondering what is the meaning of surrogate.
Absolutely.
So surrogate is a situation whereby it's a type of pregnancy, let me say it that way. It's a type of pregnancy whereby a lady step in and deliver a baby for another couple, whether a married couple, who are not able or not willing to deliver a baby of their own. So with the experience that I had, this lady was a white lady here, and she told me her own brother is not able to have it's not able to have a baby, not even a son, a male or female. Was not able to have a baby. And she had about 3 or so. So she volunteered without taking any money to have the pregnancy and also deliver the baby for her own brother. So it happened, and that was the first time I even got to know about this kind of situation. So that was an interesting one.
And what about the church's stance on this? Are we against it? Are we for it? Is the Bible saying no? Or the Bible is quiet on surrogacy?
All right. So that's a very broad question. Let me begin with this. There is a similar story. Let me start from the biblical aspect. There is a similar situation in the Bible, and it's found in Genesis chapter 25. As some of us may know, it's the story about Abraham and Sarah. You know, Abraham was about 100 years old, and the wife was 90 years old. They were not able to have babies. So finally, the wife, Sarah, proposed or brought a suggestion that Abraham should sleep with his servant, Hagar. And Abraham agreed to it, and they had the baby. The baby, as we all know, called Ishmael. That was the first time we heard anything close to surrogate as we are discussing today. But even with that, from the biblical point of view, the Bible doesn't support it. The Bible doesn't support it, and we know the consequence that came with that situation. Now, let me look at the biblical, let me go more deep into the biblical aspect. First of all, surrogacy goes against the biblical principle of family life or marriage. From the Bible, it is clear that a couple or children can only be ascertained, or we can get children only through a legal marriage. So if there is any situation that people will have a baby, it should come from a marriage. So if people are not married, there is no way they can have a baby. With that in mind, that means surrogacy is totally wrong as the Bible says, because the Bible only acknowledges children from married couples. And as we've seen from the story of surrogacy, is somebody who is volunteered to give birth to a married couple. So biblically is wrong. Biblically is wrong. Now let me also give you what the church stands. So I have already given you the idea of the Bible. Now what about the Seventh-day Adventist Church? Have we ever had any issue of that sort? The answer is yes. In fact, in September 2016, in our church, we have a group of scholars that discuss theological issues, and they are called the Biblical Research Institute. They received a question on this same issue, and the question was that would the church support if a lady or be a surrogate for homosexuals? So with this one is a different story. Being a surrogate for a homosexual. And in their response, in fact, they released the response in October 2016. And with a summary of the whole thing, they ascertained that one is wrong. Since the child is not coming from a married couple, it is wrong. And the worst of it with their specific case was to be a surrogate for homosexual, which the Bible is even against that. Now let me add their conclusion. I just want to quote from their conclusion on that subject of surrogacy. I'm just reading from that report. They said, and I quote, "We invite homosexuals, heterosexuals, single people, and those who have been choosing a lifestyle not in accordance with the Bible to accept the divine ideal for sexuality, family, and marriage. This includes opposing the commercialization of children through surrogate motherhood and the reduction of women to childbirth machine. We encourage women to seriously consider their involvement in surrogacy." In other words, they are discouraging women in the church to avoid the idea of being a surrogate for a couple. So that is the church stand. The church doesn't support it. Biblically, it is wrong. It's against the principle that God has laid down for marriage and also having babies.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor, for that extensive comment on this topic. And with this particular story, I just want to talk a little bit about surrogacy and the types. So we have the one that the husband and the wife, we get the sperm of the husband and then the eggs of the wife. And then we implant the embryo and put it in another woman. And some to, yes, gestational, exactly. And some to, we have the woman offering her eggs because maybe the egg may not be good. And then the man will fertilize it and she will carry the child. And some will argue that they are not sleeping together. After all, it's artificial, it's science. And so there's no immorality there. Unlike Abraham that slept with Hagar. So that was adultery, even though Sarah gave her approval. But I remember somewhere in the Bible, this is so funny, somewhere in the Bible when Hagar was misbehaving, Sarah made a comment that the woman that she got pregnant, she forgot that she was the one that told Abraham to go and have a child with Hagar, but that's just by the way. And so I understand the church's stance and I understand what the Bible is saying, but these are some of the arguments people will come up with, that he's not sleeping with me, I am not sleeping with him, I'm just like a vessel, a womb that they can use. And so I don't see where it is morally wrong. But then clearly, Pastor has, if you're an Adventist and you're a Christian and you care about your salvation, I mean, Pastor has given us a breakdown of what the Bible is saying and what the church is saying. And so it will do us good to listen and take some advice from that. But Portia, I don't know if you have more to talk about the types of surrogacy, but my question to you... Okay, sure.
According to what you just said, we have the gestational surrogacy and we have the traditional.
Right.
The traditional one deals with the man bringing his sperms and the woman will fertilize with the egg. Okay. And the second one with the gestational one deals with the two couples. The one that is not like the surrogate will be here and the two couples, they are donating their own, the eggs and their sperm.
It's like this woman's story.
And they will bring it to the lab and they will fertilize it and turn it to embryo. Then they will plant into the surrogate woman's womb and she will carry it to birth. Okay. But the traditional one, it deals with the DNA because the other woman, have his own egg and the man will fertilize it. So it deals with the DNA type. The mother is attached to the baby. That one, if it legally is like, I have my child, you two, I come to take it. It's very, very complicated. But the gestational one is really that like you are the one carrying, you are the vessel carrying the baby and giving it out. As a freely gift.
That's true. Like the woman is saying, I want to give them a child. Exactly. But do you think it's wrong for her to do this, Portia? Would it have been okay if it was not her ex? Would the story have changed, or do you think her stance would have been the same? She shouldn't do it. But with this particular story, with her family and her husband, and she going on and on about, he helped me with my degree and my master's, and he was good to me. Do you think that this woman is going on the right path by thinking that she should be a surrogate for her ex?
I think that she shouldn't do it. The fact that you are married, that holy thing, that secret thing, is for you and your husband. No one should. And due to this woman, the man is trying to blackmail her a little because she knows her. She knows her weakness, her point. He will hit it on because I know you. The little that I know about you, when I do this, you'll be conformed. Okay, oh, he's doing this, so let me do that. Okay, that kind of thing. So the man would take out this opportunity and hit on it so that you come down to her level or to his level and do it for him. But it's wrong for the woman to do because you are married.
So regardless of he helping her with her...
No, you can help in other ways, not to give birth to. Not to give child or not to give birth to your ex.
Your ex.
No. It's a no area.
At all.
No.
And coming back to your first point where you said you think there's something fishy going on. Do you think she's only trying to help, or you think that she wants to sort of have a relationship? Because she's ready to relocate. Do
you know what?
What?
I just read the story right now, and she said that the ex is such a wonderful boyfriend.
Yes, he was.
It was perfect.
Yes.
What do you mean perfect? It means that your husband is not perfect.
Okay.
Did you get what I'm saying? It means that your husband is not perfect. You are doing something like, okay, my husband is like this, my ex is like this. He's perfect in this way. He's a wonderful man. No. You are trying to say that your husband is not perfect. If you do that, you're bringing your husband's spirit down. Do you get it?
I get what you're saying.
It's a no area for me.
She shouldn't even try.
Don't venture.
Don't venture. Don't venture is what Portia is saying. But Pastor, do you really think genuinely this woman is trying to help? Or you think there's something more going on here? Because she's going on and on about... because she's going on and on about he's good to me, he helped me. So she's trying to come off as if she's, what is the word? She's giving back to him for what he did for her when they were dating. And she gave us the background. It was good. We didn't fight. The distance didn't help. And gradually we all do. So it's even showing that they didn't break up well. So do you think genuinely she just wants to help, or you think that she wishes that she could rekindle her relationship with her ex, but it's rather unfortunate that they are both married, and so she can't have it. She can't eat a cake and have it, if I should say.
All right, thank you. You know, I don't want to be judgmental, but it sounds as if she's willing to help and recalling all the good things that the guy has done for her. It looks like she has good motive. If truly she is doing it out of her own heart, then she is being naive. I want to talk about that aspect.
Right.
If truly she is doing it out of her heart, it means that she's being naive of the trend that she's working on. And on the other side, looking at the description, as my sister Portia said, looking at the description that this lady gave about the ex, in fact, we don't crash it about that. He's perfect. No, she said he's perfect, very nice, and if I am to be the husband, in fact, I hope she did not discuss all these, she did not use all these adjectives with her own. I hope so. I hope. Because that would be a heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes ladies can be naive. And I hope that is not the case. But I don't think it's a good thing for her to do. And if she's being naive, she should open her eyes. To the extent that you take your whole family, go and live in another country, you have your own job, you have your own responsibilities at home, to go and live with your ex. I don't know if the ex has also informed the actual wife right now. I don't know how this situation is even going to play out. So I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I agree completely. Portia, before we go on break, I want us to talk about the issue of exes. You hear it all the time. Oh, the fact that we are exes doesn't mean we are enemies. I mean, we can still have a friendship. Oh, but why are people asking me not to talk to my ex anymore? Where do we draw the line when we are married, or even when we've moved on from that relationship and we are in another relationship? Where do we take out this ex behavior in 1 minute ex, and if you're not comfortable with my ex, you want to control me? When do we stop that behavior? Because we've had countless of stories in the studio, and it's about one person not moving on completely from their ex, or one person still entertaining an ex somewhere saying they are friends and they are not enemies, and God says to love all. And so they don't understand why their husbands are being, some even say jealous, some even say insecure, whether their husbands or their wives. Let's talk about exes. When do we draw the line? When do we say, you know what, our journey or our chapter is over? Go your way, let me go my way. When do we do that? Is it in the marriage, or we even have to do it before we get married?
We need to stop before we get married. When you're married, you have moved from one stage to another. You didn't bring your old self into the marriage.
Right.
The marriage is different and altogether. So when you break up with your ex, it's agreement that you have all made.
Right.
Go your way, let me go my way. So immediately you involve your ex in your marriage, you are breaking up your marriage. Because the next time, or the other partner will bring an issue, he knows you. So you bring some sensitive issue that you know that if I hit on this one, I will get her. Gradually,
they'll get you.
He'll get you. And secondly, maybe he knows your spot. The little thing that he touch or he say that you make you melt. The sweet words, everything. So if you continue engaging them, you get yourself in trouble. So you need to stop.
You don't believe that?
No.
Marriage and he's still my ex and we are cool behavior. She said no.
End it.
End it. I like how Portia said no. End it. We'll have to go for a quick break. When we come back, we will discuss from the husband's perspective and why this woman thinks her husband is being unreasonable by saying no. And why she even asked us, should she go with the 2 kids and leave the husband here for the whole year and have the child for, I don't know what's going on through her mind, but we'll find out more when we come back from the break, and we'll read your comments as well when we come back from your break. This is Real Talk. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Angel of Hope.
I'm an angel of hope.
Ubrenio, so do Sika a Baba Boho channel. No one so ya sene. Yet me the measam a cock main chia saw in Choromiana. Wadaroma, Fahmain, Nafa Sika Fasubi. Na also fabra yenko kanyamsem enya kra ewunkwa star 928 star 34 star 104 hash anase 0249193083 Hope channel yes sabrabo Hope channel ya jia kra no nkwa.
For still tuning in, we are still in the studios of Hope TV Ghana, and we are still talking about the lady who wants to be a surrogate for her ex, but her husband is saying no, and she wants to know whether she's making the right decision or her husband is being unreasonable. And I want us to read some of your comments before we continue with the rest of the discussion. And this one is from Tony Amwakon, who says, "Come on, my sister. Will you have done it if the reasons for your breakup was his fault or yours? Yes, he helped you out in the past. You might deny it, but the feeling you once had is coming back to you. It might be wrong, but you need to listen to your husband because the two shall become one. You are not supposed to be talking to your ex in the first place. How do you think your husband will feel if you go through with it? My dear married woman, their problem is not yours to carry." Echampo Amos says, "Your ex and the wife are in Europe with health facilities equipped with sophisticated machines. So I think they should find their way out by going to keep their fertilized ovum in an artificial uterus, which is available over there. You can't go and defile your marriage in the name of helping someone." Helena Ansa says, "My dear, from the look of things, it seems you are still interested in your ex and willing to do anything to be with him. Even the fact that you are ready to leave your husband behind and go with your children is a big proof. But please think through your decision. Don't disregard your husband's decision in this. Mind you, if your ex was really your husband, you guys would have been married by now, no matter what." Mami Adra says, "You are so much interested in pleasing your ex than your husband, whom you have a life with. Do you think your ex's wife will be happy with this? And even if yes, respect the fact that your husband isn't happy with it and change your ways unless you want to end the marriage and be a second wife to your ex. Abi, he has money and that's what you are interested in." Okay, so Jemima upon Efriye says, "It's probably not the love you're thinking about. Some are really able to balance this whole love shenanigans. Others are not. Maybe she is. Though I understand since her husband doesn't agree, she shouldn't go ahead." Mami Opoku says, "Madam, get it straight to your ex. Your ex is your ex. You shouldn't have even told your husband. That is gross disrespect to him. You love your ex. You just want an excuse to get to him. Go apologize to your husband and stop it. You have your family to protect. There are people around the world whose primary aim is to be surrogates. It's the travel, money, and the guy you want. Don't insult the integrity of the man you married. Go back to your husband and render a sincere apology to him. You have hurt his feelings." Yes, so I have a lot more comments. I'll try and read them as the conversation goes on, but I want us to quickly go back to the discussion and look at this whole issue with her husband disagreeing and she still asking if she can go ahead. But Pastor, before then, I want to ask you about the barrier that we have to create when it comes to exes in our relationships? Because it seems people are not getting it. It seems when you don't talk to your ex, they think you are angry, you are upset, you haven't forgiven your ex. They don't understand that you just do not want anything to do with them in your life anymore. That chapter has ended. Can you speak to how we can just stop letting our past relationships influence our marriages and our present relationship, like it is clearly doing for this woman's marriage here?
Yes, thank you so much. One thing that we need to take notes, if you are married and you are listening to me and you have an ex, if you want peace of mind in your marriage, get rid of your ex. There should be a barrier between you and your ex. Because if you really like the person, you could have been married to the person by now. And since now there is somebody in the picture, that history needs to be in the black books. Now, let me share this with you right now. As I'm speaking to you, I have some young couples that I'm counseling, and they are having similar issue. Now, the guy is still talking to his ex, and the wife is not happy. In fact, I confronted this guy and I said, man, you can't continue to do that. And guess what the guy responded to me? He said, oh, Pastor, now she's just, I have taken her as my sister.
What?
We are just friends. And
What?
She's
Sister with benefits.
Sister now, like she called me to encourage me, and I don't understand why my wife is so insecure. You know,
What?
sometimes these people use kind of these words.
Yes,
insecure.
yes,
That's
you are
why
jealous.
they
Yes, yes.
And you are jealous.
Yeah.
It's not that they are jealous, it's because they love you. And they don't want you to work on that path. So let me say this. This is a real issue going on. We should know that so far as you are married, you are with that person, and your ex should be a history. I'm not saying when there may be a church or some gatherings, you shouldn't say hi. It's okay to say hi or here and there. But even if you want to do anything with your ex, make sure your partner is aware of what is going on. Like the guy I'm talking about. He said, oh, Pastor, she called me and said she's in need of money. And I said, did you discuss that with your wife? And he said, no. And I said, see, that would be a problem if your ex is asking for money. And genuinely, maybe there is nothing going on between you and your ex. You have to make sure your partner is aware.
Yeah.
These things are the, let me use common sense that we need to know, especially when the exes come into our life. So
Right.
I would say to have peace of mind, in your marriage, make sure there is a good boundary between you and your ex.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pasha, before I come to you, I want to ask Pastor about this question that people are insinuating. They are thinking that this woman is doing this because of money. They are thinking that her interest to go with her children is because she wants to probably experience Europe. She wants to, and probably she may not even come back. Looking at this behavior that she's putting on. Because if you are willing to tell your husband that, oh, since he says we can all come, he will pay for it, but since you don't want to go, let me and the 2 children go, and then you can be here. And she says it's going to take a year. A whole year, you're willing to carry your 2 children, relocate them, find schools for them, and leave your husband here, and you expect him to stay by himself. I personally do not think she truly cares about her husband, because a woman who cares about her home will not get up and leave her home. But do you think she's doing this for money, even though she may not say it? Do you think there's some sort of greed going on?
So based on the narration, I don't see money as in it, but I see some benefit that she's trying to link into us, like going to the States or Europe, wherever the guy may be. And looking at what she even said, if my husband is not willing to go, please advise me to convince my husband to stay so that we can go. Can you imagine? So I see more to it than just to help. I think once she might want to get to the Europe or that first world country, she's willing to go there. That might be one reason. And the second reason is that maybe she want to get back to the ex. These are the two main reasons why I think this lady is still pushing, either to get to the States or Europe or to get back to the ex. And the sad part is that they have 2 children in the narration.
Yeah.
She has 2 children with her husband. And you are willing to let go. Let me even also say that, do you know that the ex has been married for just 4 years?
Yeah.
There's no child. Just 4 years. It's not even 10 years or 15 years. Just 4 years. Which, with patience and prayers, the ex can even have their own child. Yeah. So I don't think it's a good idea.
I don't even get why she must be the one. There are other options. And Portia, you're telling me off air that there's money involved in surrogacy. Do you think this woman is being motivated by that? Do you think she's already been wanting to greener pastures? From your first point, you mentioned that
the economy.
Yes.
The economic situation is making her think like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true. She wants money. But this story, this is something else.
I know.
She has been communicating with the ex.
Yes.
So they are putting things together. You don't know what they are thinking, or they are even talk about it. Yeah. When you come, then you will stay, and I will do this for you, all this thing. But the woman shouldn't even try and leave the husband and leave him here and go.
So you think she and her ex is a plan?
I thought it's a fishy thing. No?
I agree. I can see why. You're
She'll go to Europe, be there. Why will you think that the ex will not even try and ask her to do the surrogate 2 or 3 times if you can do 1?
Or probably have actual pregnancy and not surrogate. Maybe they might decide to go the traditional way of having babies and not surrogate. Because it says, I like your character. And like you're saying, if it's gestational that they want, the character, there is no DNA, so the character is irrelevant. So how is she carrying the baby going to transfer goods?
So they'll do the traditional one. So we have the 2 types. We have the traditional and the gestational one. So they'll do the traditional one.
Or might even end up having an affair. We never know. So you think this woman is doing it because of money?
Oh, sister, economy. Oh. When you research shows that is it US or is $2,000 or $3,000 US
every month.
Every month.
Until you have
until you give birth, and they will pay you overall. Your food, your everything is being taken care of.
Wow. Wow.
Ya pampa oye. Wow. Akonoba.
But before Pastor mentioned about I didn't ask you this, but I want to ask, Pastor, do you think if you're single, let's just say if you're single, you're not married, and you're living your life, and you want that to be your life purpose, to help people have children, do you think it's okay to be a surrogate?
Oh, if you're single, there's no obligation. No, there's no man to tell you to stop or whatever. Or in quote, if you are not a Christian, so is part of your memoria. If in quote, what I said, if you're single and you want to take that path as a form of your career, why not? It's your own life. I can't decide for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But if you are married, it's a no-no area.
I get it. Now let's talk about her husband. What do you think this man should do, really? Do you think he should tell her, if you make the move to go, the marriage is over? Do you think he should have a discussion with that supposed ex and tell him stay away from our home? What do you think the man should do in this situation, like his role? Should he do something more?
First, if they are Christian, they should report these issues to their pastors and their elders, sit them down, discuss it, talk sense into the woman's ears, so that she will stop whatever she's trying to do, because it's not good. You are separating yourself from your husband and your children too. Let me say, this ex, say you have a sister or an auntie or a family member around, or the ex's wife. They can do the same, as the pastor said.
Right.
My sister can surrogate for me.
Yeah, she can.
It's also part of the family, the relationship, the close relationship. It's okay. But to your ex, extent.
Who is married
Sister.
with children? So you think her husband should report her to the church?
To the church
leadership,
so that they will discuss, or any counselor, so that they will counsel them, and the man should put his leg on the matter. Don't go. Okay, they are some see. And you will now will jawari no.
Okay. Then she understands. That's true. Pastor, this man has a big issue in his home right now. What do you think he should do as a man? Well, he's come out to say, don't go. But the woman is trying to find a way of convincing him to allow she and the children go. But do you think he can do more to someone who say save his marriage or save his home? Or in your opinion, as a husband, what should he do?
All right. Maybe before I answer that question, can I talk about the previous question you asked, Portia, about if the person is
single? Yeah, absolutely.
Let me talk about that. Do you know that the first gestational surrogacy happened in 1980? In fact, the lady who performed the first one is called Elizabeth Kane, and she received $10,000. According to the story, this lady became depressed. And she regretted, according to the website, they say she regretted for becoming the first gestational person to perform that process. And she wrote a book called Birth Mother, explaining the difficulties and the emotional torture that she went through. So aside looking at the biblical aspect, being a surrogate is something that you really need to think about it. Even if you are single or you are not even married. So, and on the biblical aspect, as I said from the beginning, childbearing should only happen in marriage. If the two are not married, it is wrong, biblically. So whether you are single or not, unless the two of you are married, it is not. I know this is a very critical, ethical issue, but that is the stand. Now back to the guy. You were asking what other measures can you take, right? For me, I hope the man will be able to settle this issue in his own house without this issue getting out of hand.
Okay.
Because it's either there's something wrong with this lady that maybe he should pray and sit the wife down and say, do you know what you are talking about? Like unkindness and something. That is the first part, that if the lady is being naive, he should make her understand what the trend that she's going on. And also, if that doesn't help, then counselors can be invited into this case for her to go. And if the lady is tired and she doesn't want to get married, that's also another ball game altogether.
So you think that there's a possibility that she doesn't want to be married?
Oh yes. Listen, if she's so bold enough to tell the husband, I want to go and be a surrogate to my ex, before somebody can get that confidence, I think there might be something behind the scenes that we don't know.
Yeah. So
perhaps maybe she is done with her passport and things are even ready. So, yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, absolutely. I'll read some comments and then I'll take your final words. Then we can go. This one is from Annabelle Ashade, who says she's not going anywhere. Can she consider her husband's concerns too? The guy was good to her, we understand. She can return the goodness in another way that her husband may deem fit. Plus, she wants to go to Abrotire with her kids to do surrogacy and leave her husband here. For who to take care of? And now he doesn't deserve or need care. She should sit down there. This is a big no for me. Okay, Mrs. Adontin also says, Mrs. Adontin says, can people just stop marriage and exes? What is all this about? There are so many women in the world to do this. If she wants to help her ex, she should recommend someone to do it. She doesn't have to do it by herself. Okay. This one is from Matthias, who says, who asked you to leave your ex when you knew you couldn't let go? Who asked you to go and marry? Juliana Opon says, there are facilities in Ghana that operate surrogacy. It's not advised to use familiar surrogates or donors either, sperm or egg. If you really want to help support them financially to get one, if you really want to help, then support them financially to get one from these facilities in the country. If you are in Kumasi, hashtag Roma Fertility Specialist Hospital is one of the leading fertilities in West Africa. Millicent Esiama says, hey, are you ready to quit your job and carry your husband and children to Europe to go and give birth for your ex-boyfriend? But sister, please advise him to look for a surrogate elsewhere. Fred says, dear, you can still get to carry the embryo for 9 months. It will not be a sacrifice you alone have to make, but your whole family, your husband, your kids, for a year or forever. You really want to help, but you aren't single, so kindly step back and pray for him. You are thinking of helping your ex at the expense of your family, and I pray you open your eyes to reality before you break your family. Remember, safe childbirth is not automatic and anything can happen to you. Last comment is from Adjoa Broni, who says, it is really good to be good to people, not only when they showed you kindness, but because it's our duty to do so. Truth is, you do not own yourself anymore since you agreed to be married. It is a good idea, but you don't expect your husband to jump in agreement. It won't sound well with him at all. I think you should explain to your husband to understand, let him know why you want to help, explain for him, but if he still persists, you have to let go and stay. You can't rebel against your husband and do what he said he won't allow you to do. But I believe if you are humble, your heart, and talk to him, he will understand. You really think the husband will understand to allow her to do this? I completely don't think so. Unless, of course, maybe, I don't know which husband, especially African husband, who say, go and with her children go and have another man's child, even though it's through science and artificial insemination. But Portia, what is your final words for the woman? Should she forget about this idea? Should she continue to convince her husband? What is your final advice for her?
My advice is she shouldn't even try. She should forget about the ex. Because according to what the story, he said that due to our numerous chat.
Yes.
Means that you have been chatting with him.
Yeah.
I chat. You should stop. Even cut that line.
Yeah.
You should even try with the ex again.
Have any friendship or relationship.
So that you should concentrate on his marriage.
Yeah.
And build up a family.
Yeah.
A beautiful one.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yeah.
You shouldn't even try. Don't forget to cry.
Before we go, Portia, I wanted to ask you, do you think that maybe another aspect is this desire of wanting more children? Could that be the reason why this woman wants to do this? Because she said we wanted to have a lot.
And due to economic, my husband said we should wait.
So do you think she's somebody who loves kids and wants a lot? So if she can't have it with her husband, she's going to have it through whatever means she wants to have it?
No. We shouldn't do that. Like, if you want more kids, pray, work hard, get enough money, then continue with your childbearing. Because your husband didn't tell you that, or we shouldn't give birth at all. But due to some situation that he said that we should stop for a while. So forget about your ex money, in quotes. And forget about that. In due time, God will bless you. Maybe in due time, God will bless you. Oh, my dear, it's time for you to even travel with your whole family.
Yeah.
To be nice.
Yeah, it will. It will. But not on this ticket.
No.
This one, no. Pastor, your final words for this lady and then her husband. Your final words for the couple. Do you think she should forget? Do you think she should go and forget her marriage? Do you think her husband should come along and have a nice experience in Europe? I think Pastor is frozen. Can you hear me? Unfortunately, Pastor cannot hear me. Okay, you're back.
Can you
Great.
hear me?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So, ties with the lady for caring about the ex. You know, it is an uncomfortable situation to be in as a married couple, and there is nobody, and especially when you've been married for some time.
Yeah.
And I sympathize. But since she said it's 4 years. 4 years. In fact, I have a testimony here in Columbus. The couple married 10 years, and on the 10th year, they had a baby. So she should relax and also pray for the ex that God should help them to have a child. Also, let me also advise the lady. What I would say is that she needs to be very careful with the conversation between her and the ex, and also she should value her marriage. I think she doesn't. That is why she's so bold on the husband on such issue. And it's my prayer that if she's listening to us right now, she will take our advice and also stop this whole saga.
This whole saga, as Pastor puts it. Before we go, Pastor, I know you've been out of the country for a while, so I don't know if you want to say any hi or you have any message for anybody here in Ghana. Please go ahead and do so.
Yes. I want to say hi to my dear mother.
Oh, Pastor keeps freezing, unfortunately. Pastor is frozen. Portia, I'll give you the opportunity to say hi to your husband and your children and anybody that you want to say hi to. Yeah. Okay, Pastor is back. Pastor, before you freeze again, please say your...
Yes, quickly.
Yes, quickly.
Yeah. So my first greeting goes to my beloved mother in Ghana. She's in Aputoja, Chapakre, Atusu, Kumasi. I feel your Kodo, Margaret today. God bless you. And also I want to say hi to my beloved wife. I thank God that she has not submitted such a proposal to me. So I love my wife, my Patience J. I also say hi to her as well.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Portia.
Yeah. My first greetings goes to my husband, Simoya Obwedu. He's currently in UK now. And my mom, Felicia Dufie Jan, and my 2 kids, Emmanuel Efia Boa and Simoya Obwedu Jr.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And to all my friends.
All your friends, yes. Thank you guys so much for coming today. It's just been amazing having the conversation. Thank you guys at home for listening. And remember, you can also be an angel of hope by dialing *928*34*104# and follow the prompts. You can also send your donation to Hope Channel at 0249193083. Thank you, Portia, so much for coming. Thank you, Pastor, so much for coming. I hope the lady is going to pick something from this and stop this obsession with traveling and being a surrogate mother for her ex. If she wants to help, she can pray for them. And like I agree with Portia when she says she should cut off all connections with the ex. And we just have to do better with her relationships. I don't understand this idea of letting an ex cause such a huge issue into your family. I don't think you people should ever discuss your ex in your home. It's such an irrelevant topic. It doesn't even make sense for me. But I hope she's listening. I hope she is going to do the right thing and make the right decision before she loses something special. And she should remember that she can't get up and travel with her children if her husband is against it. And so she should just pray and forget about the ex. God will cause that miracle in their life when the time is right. Thank you guys so much for helping. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back same time next week with yet another interesting topic on Real Talk. Please enjoy the rest of the content on Hope TV and have yourselves a lovely evening. Good night.